Hi, you guys. I'm back. It's been, I think, over a month, but same kind of stuff applies as before. I have not really been able to make videos. First, there was the whole, recovering from the tonsillitis thing, and then doing so much like homework and so much stuff for school that I just haven't had time to really read anything. So there was nothing to review, but this week I had kind of a temporary lull in between exams. I was able to read two books, actually, surprising. Took me quite a bit to read the first book, which is kind of embarrassing given what book it is. You'll see in a second. Um, my health is just still not back to normal after the surgery. I guess I caught a cold like a couple weeks ago, and whatever, that went away. But since then, I've had really bad acid reflux, like right up in my throat, and talking and everything, I can kind of get a gagging sensation. So I'm trying to keep it under control. Um, I am on medication. The doctor said it would likely take a couple more weeks for that to go away. So I'm really hoping it's quick because I really, really want to be back to normal, and I don't know when that's gonna happen. I think it's been long enough that I've had problems. Um, So yeah, I have two books. The first one that I read is The Son of Neptune by Riordan. This is the sequel to The Lost Hero. The and it's part of the Heroes of Olympus series, which is kind of like a sequel to the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which I'm um pretty big fan of. Not as good as Harry Potter, but I really like the books, especially like the later half of the series, and I really enjoyed so far the King Chronicles and this series, the Heroes of Olympus. I think they're a lot stronger already than the Percy Jackson series. So yeah, this book follows Percy Jackson, where similar to the first book, um, the Lost Hero was about Jason, who was I don't really want to give spoilers if you haven't read it. A kid without his memory, and he's trying to get it back. This one, Percy has lost his memory, and he's trying to get it back. And similar, he goes on a quest with a group of friends, and then they're all gonna connect in the last book, the Mark of Athena, which is probably I think next fall is gonna come out. I really liked this book. I actually there's some aspects of it that I liked a little bit less than The Lost Hero. I feel like, and maybe because, Percy didn't have his memory, it just seemed a little bit impersonal with him. And similar to The Lost Hero, it's from three points of view. There's Percy, this girl named Hazel, and this boy named Frank, and the two of them have these, like, secrets they're hiding from everybody. And Percy is just trying to get his memory back and fit in with them and all this stuff. Um, it wasn't, really until towards the end that you kind of get to see the old Percy come back. Not that he wasn't himself before, but you didn't, also because it's from the third person, you didn't really get into his head as much as in the first series. Um, it's weird because it's a character you already know, whereas with the other two, Hazel and Frank, you've never heard of them before, and then the characters like Jason and everybody in The Lost Hero, you didn't know them, so this took a little bit of adjusting to just the Percy parts, but I still really liked and really recommend this book. I'd probably give it like an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. I'll go with a 9. I think that's a decent rating. The next book that I read is The Celebrated Cases of Judge D by D. Goong An. This is a true story written in the 18th century about a real judge or magistrate, Judge D, who lived in, I think, the 7th century? Yes, 7th century AD. And he was a very famous judge and magistrate. This is kind of like a very old school Chinese detective novel, but it's all true stuff in here. about this judge. There's mainly three big cases in here. My cousin actually had to read this for her literature class, and she thought it was intriguing. So she let me borrow it because I've studied a bit of Asian history, never so far back as 7th century though. Um, and I really thought it was interesting, especially to see like the culture and the different detective style methods. Uh, because as you can tell, I love mystery novels, and from such a long time ago, it was really cool to see kind of how the system worked and the differences and all that stuff. It was very, very, very different from anything else you'd read. 7th century China is not the same as 1930s England, Agatha Christie, and obviously from today. Or Sherlock Holmes or anything like that, but it was really cool to read something different like that. So I give this book probably a 7, I think, out of 10. And those are the two books that I've read. I also have a buttload, not a buttload, but quite a few movies. 1, 2, 3, okay, 5 that I saw in this past month that I'm going to go through really quickly. First one is The Big Year. It has Owen Wilson, Jack Black, and I think Steve Martin in it, and it's about birders, which I always said they were called bird watchers, but apparently they're called birders, and then they're on this quest to go on, it's called A Big Year, where they want to beat the record of how many birds they see. It was a comedy, as you can probably tell from the actors, but it was pretty good. I had very, very low expectations. I thought it was going to be kind of stupid, but it was funny and cute, and I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 also. Next movie I saw was the Footloose remake with, I forget what the guy's name is who plays Ren, but there's Julianne Hough, the girl who used to be on Dancing with the Stars, and she had her hair dyed like this light brownish red, so I'm like, God, that girl looks familiar, but because of the hair, I couldn't tell who it was. But eventually, yeah, I figured it out. I am not a big fan of the original Footloose with Kevin Bacon in it. I thought it was really, really cheesy and kind of stupid. Like, I felt like it took itself too seriously. Maybe that was my imagination. Maybe it was more of a joke. This one, even though the idea is still a little bit, you have to suspend disbelief, modern day, that the dancing and stuff wouldn't be allowed. I felt like it was made more realistic in a lot of ways. It didn't quite take itself seriously. I thought the acting was better than in the original one. Most of the dancing was pretty cool too, which I can't dance to save my life, so I just kind of drool with envy watching people do that stuff. I have 2 left feet. I can barely even walk without stubbing my toes, so let alone dance. It was very cute. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Next movie I saw was The Three Musketeers with Logan Lerman, who actually played Percy Jackson in the Lightning Thief movie, and Matthew McFadden and a couple other guys, and Mila Jovovich, I believe, is the girl in it, Milady, or whatever. I did see the Three Musketeers movie from the 90s, which I thought was stupid. This is a little bit better. It's very much the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movie kind of feel, where it's a very modernized past and kind of in a jokey way, a lot of big special effects and stuff like that. I did enjoy it. I didn't really like Mila Jovovich's role very much. She reminded me kind of too much of the Irene Adler from the said Sherlock Holmes movie, who I could tolerated, but she didn't really have the charm in this for me that Irene Adler barely pulled off. So that was kind of a downer, but I really love Matthew McFadden, and it was a really funny And Orlando Bloom was in it too as the villain. It was cute. I'd give this a 7 out of 10 also. Going down the list here, I think these are all comedies, this latest batch that I've seen, which I really need at this point in my life. Just been feeling like crap for months on end. Like, even talking now, I'm trying to, like, hold down this gagging sensation. I don't want to, like, start retching on camera. Next one I saw was Tower Heist with Ben Stiller and Eddie Murphy and Matthew Broderick and I forget, but a couple other people too. Casey Affleck and I forget who the other dude is. And Alan Alda too. These guys who got fired from a hotel because there was their main tenant in the penthouse turns out was like a sham and he embezzled or stole all this money or something like that. And so they want to break into his penthouse and get the money back to pay back the people and stuff like that. It was a funny movie. I don't really have much to say about it. It was a decent comedy. I would give it a 7 out of 10 also. It wasn't bad. Then the last one is probably the craziest of all of them. Harold and Kumar's 3D Christmas. Yes, I think it is too early to have a Christmas movie, but okay. I have not seen either of the other two Harold and Kumar movies, so this was really kind of weird for me. You don't need to see them to understand this, but it helps to kind of get the in-jokes and all that. I heard that these were stoner comedies, but I just didn't know how far out, so to speak, they would be. My God, it was weird. It was funny, but it was really weird. I guess because I wasn't familiar with the series, I was expecting maybe something a little bit tamer. I didn't know quite how odd they were. It was still a cute movie, and also I wanted to see it because I had a friend who was an extra in it, but I didn't even see her in it. It was filmed right here in Detroit, so I did see like some places that I recognize, but not my friend in it. Maybe if she tells me exactly what spot she was in, or she goes with me and points herself out, I don't know. But I don't really want to pay to watch it again. I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. This one, kind of too off the wall for me, but still funny. That is it for my quick reviews of like this whole month. Really, I forgot to mention at the beginning. If it looks like I just got out of bed, it's wrong because I'm still in bed. I'm kind of hiding out on the top bunk here because we're renovating our house, and a lot of the stuff from the living room is like clustered in my room here. Since I'm only here weekends, most of the time I don't have to deal with it. But unfortunately now I do, and there's really nowhere else for me to film but up here. I don't even get to have my books behind me because there's stuff blocking my shelves. It's very depressing actually when I look at it. But I guess I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to do some tag videos to try to get back in the scene because who knows, it might be another month before I get to record again. Maybe Christmas break probably is when I'll have a chance. So I will catch you guys later.